I see you've stumbled upon my fabulous domain.
領域展開
I am Friyoshii, a cosplayer and an aspiring fashion designer, and my channel is all about learning new and fun creative stuff. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about my fashion design portfolio, or art and design universities in general. I'm going to show you guys what I did in my portfolio and how to apply for fashion schools and art and design schools in general. I will be dividing the topics in few segments, so you can skip to any of the parts you want by following the timestamps. Okay, so first I will be talking about what is an art school and where I applied and all that. Then I'm going to be sharing my portfolio that I submitted to each university. And then at the end, I will be sharing my grades, my scholarships, and other miscellaneous things. So let us begin our mission for today. So I applied to Parsons, of course, my dream school, SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design, SAIC, School of Art Institute of Chicago, CCA, and a few others that I quite don't really recall since I applied last year. So I'm sorry for that. I did not apply to FIT, even though that is one of the biggest fashion schools. Firstly, as far as I saw, they only give an associate's degree, but I wanted to do a bachelor's of fine arts on fashion design. I got accepted to SCAD and SAIC, but got rejected from my dream school that I spent countless hours researching, watching documentaries over 5 hours, practically memorizing their school website and following every single social media they have on Instagram. And Facebook, almost every single day. I was extremely obsessed with Parsons. When I say I watched hours of videos on Parsons, I mean it. And also when I say I memorized their entire school website, I mean that. To sound like I memorized them, like by reading and memorizing, oh, this is where this is, and then that, and all that. But I visited their website so many times and looked through the same things so many times that I literally got like engraved in my head or something. But reality decided to slap my face with a rejection letter from the dream school that I put my heart and soul into. But yeah, life had other plans for me. So if you plan on applying to art and design schools like this, most of them will definitely ask you to submit a portfolio. Make sure you put a lot of time and effort on your portfolio because that is one of the most important pieces for your application. Okay, so if I keep looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notebook on what to say so I don't forget any part, or I'm going to be looking through my laptop to show you guys my portfolio and other things. Our first question I'm going to be answering is, what is an art school? Why I decided to attend a university for my Bachelor of Fine Arts degree on fashion design instead of going to a regular university. Let me answer that. Pretty much it's because I have a passion for fashion. So jokes aside, I have always loved creating things, and you guys already know I love to cosplay, I love making my costumes, and all of that. I have always loved trying out new things, so I felt like this was my true calling. You may wonder why I decided to go to a fashion design or art university, or why I put so much energy on this when I could just learn things online for free, like how I have always learned everything on my own till now. Well, that is because I want to dive deeper into the industry and I want to learn more about how things in the background work. Many people don't want to share these things online. I want to see and learn from my own eyes, like right in front of me, and most importantly, you can build connections with like-minded people so you can flourish in the industry you wish to work in. Alright, so I'm going to be talking about my first portfolio piece right now. I will be displaying the description and everything on the screen below while I talk about the piece. So this is my first piece. It's called Trapped Emotions. I made the heart from air dry clay, and the mangrove tree, I made them by twisting those thin electrical wires. For the leaves and green parts, what I basically did was I shredded out yarn and just glued them on, and that's it. For the bird cage, I used wooden kebab sticks. So let me explain the significance of this piece. So this shows the intensity of feeling trapped and suffocated in an environment we live in. As we try to deal with things that keep pulling us down, we learn to grow and adapt to its rigorous system, hoping that everything will become much better. The heart is sculpted out of air-dry clay representing our life and emotions. The bird cage, made out of wooden sticks, craft foam, and wires, shows that we are trapped. The mangrove tree was made by twisting wires. Growing on the heart portrays how we learn to grow in the most difficult situations and adapt to an environment that others cannot. Since mangrove trees can grow and adapt in saline water where other plants are unable to grow easily. The flower made on the heart, called Lily of the Valley, made out of paper, symbolizes the hope for happiness to return in our lives after all the storm passes away. The butterfly depicts how we embrace all the changes in our surroundings. This is what I try to signify using this piece. So the next piece is the futuristic fashion illustration. I took inspiration from how futuristic cities look like and made this design from that. After I brought my design to life, this is how it looks like. Let me explain how I made this. For the spirals that goes from my waist to the legs, wrapped around my legs, I basically made that by thick steel wires and craft foam to make the structure so it stands. I will put the description of this piece right here. It has more details how I made this costume. If you want to read it, you can. So this next piece is refashioned old jeans. I made this piece in a hurry, so what I did was I cut out old jeans and patched them together, and I drew a basic alpona on the skirt to give a little cultural Bengali touch on it. So this next piece is very personal to me. I named it Snow White's Poison. That was a nice name that my friend suggested it to me. So it's like a photography piece here. You might notice that there are different mediums in this portfolio since my portfolio requirements said you can use different mediums to show your creative work. So different mediums meaning photography to clay work to fashion, anything you want to create things out of to show your ideas. Well, and one of the most important thing when you're making your portfolio is the concept. Most of these universities want to see your concept more than your technical skills. I'm going to read out what this piece means. Ever since I was a small child to this day, I absolutely despise fruits. I am not physically allergic to fruits, so it is quite difficult for people to understand why it brings me so much discomfort. It is hard to express how I really feel other than telling people that I am mentally allergic to it. So in this piece, I try to express how a bowl of fresh fruit seemed terribly rotten and absolutely disgusting in my eyes. Not showing any reaction to something does not mean people are not dealing with it mentally. Even when it comes to something small like how I absolutely loathe the existence of fruits. I always try to act like it's not a big deal so I don't ruin anyone's appetite. But in my mind, the sound and image of anyone consuming fruits make me quite paranoid, anxious, and uneasy. So I basically let this fruits rot for a few days before I did the photo shoot, and obviously you can understand how much I hate fruits, so carrying this photo shoot out was very uncomfortable to me. It makes me want to cry. So I literally geared up with gloves, like glasses, goggles, masks, and everything, and handled the fruits. I kept like a fresh bowl in front and placed the rotten fruits on the skull. I had to place a foam base on the empty skull so the fruits can sit. So my next piece is also a simple fashion illustration. Before I say anything, these are very simple pieces because I am not that great in drawing. I can only make things. I was inspired by unique designs on a lionfish to create this piece. So I made 3 designs here, as you can see. I was thinking that using tie-dye would be a great way to make these designs. My next piece, this one is a very interesting one. This is also one of my favorite pieces, even though I don't think I was able to execute it properly. Everything does not need to be perfect in your portfolio because you are applying to these schools and universities to basically learn these skills. You don't need to have them prior to your application, but it would be a great help if you do have these skills. These skills as in sewing skills and all that. So this fashion illustration was inspired by a food dish from Genshin Impact. So I was inspired to create this design from a video game food dish called Jade Parcels. I think you have all seen the food dish if you played Genshin Impact. It's a really cute dish. I really liked how it looked, so I wanted to create a garment inspired by it. And I'm going to be showing you how it looks like when I brought it to life. So this is how the design looks after I created it. In reference to my Jade Parcels illustration, I tried to bring my design into reality. I drafted the patterns for the sweetheart neckline top and bell-bottom slit pants with the help of a few YouTube tutorials. I used dark green velvet for the top to complement the light green colors used for the entire design set. Light green satin covered with a layer of organza was used for the bell-bottom slit pants. For the skirt, I drafted the pattern on EVA foam to give it a more 3D look and covered the base with the same light green satin used on the pant and used a light green tissue fabric instead of organza for the half circle part of the 3D skirt base. This Jade Parcels one and my futuristic fashion illustration one was very fun to make. The This next piece is more of a conceptual work than a technical piece, so I will be showing the few-second video first, then I will be talking about the description of this video. As an artist, we tend to have a lot of feelings of self-doubt. We hurt ourselves by our own words and thoughts, and in the end leads us being the ones destroying our own creative personality. In this piece, I tried to express the emotions of self-doubt, fragility, and the feeling of burnt out. I used colorful yarn as the hair of this piece to represent all the creative thoughts and ideas we hold in our heads. I placed barbed wires around the body which covered in eggshells to represent the feeling of being fragile and how we are the ones who trap and hurt ourselves with our own words. I decided to use eggshells on the skin as a perfect representative of how we shatter our own self-confidence by overthinking and harshly over-criticizing ourselves. I set the canvas on fire to show over time how our own thoughts start to devour our own minds, and as a result, we slowly feel burnt out and demotivated to create anything new. And in the end, we are left with destroyed dreams and ideas. Very emotional and personal piece. Next, I just wanted to make few jewelry designs inspired by my culture and all that. This is probably gonna be my least favorite piece in my portfolio, so I do not want to go into more details about it, but you can read the description if you want to. I am sorry to pause this video, but I have something really important to say, and that is, if you're enjoying and finding value from this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below on any information you would like to receive on this topic. You may proceed with this video now. Okay, so for the next 3 pieces, I have to explain a few things first before I show what it is. This piece was basically for my Parsons challenge. What exactly is a Parsons challenge? So when you're applying to Parsons, they have the separate segment that you have to upload your other portfolio pieces. I think they changed the requirements of Parsons challenge every few years or something. I'm not sure about that, but for the year I applied to Parsons, my theme was basically the applicants must create a new visual work inspired by a piece submitted in the portfolio. So this new piece should connect to the theme or concept of their original work. So I basically made a 4-minute video that was inspired from my other portfolio piece called Destroyed Personality. I'm going to be showing the video first, then I'm going to describe what the video means and the other 2 pieces that were optional to submit with this piece. This was probably one of my most difficult pieces to work on. I wanted a specific kind of theme for it and mood and cinematography for this video, so it was quite difficult to film this. I'm going to explain what this video means, then I will be talking about how I made this video and all that things. You don't belong here. Do you really think you achieved it? You just got lucky. You're not a big deal. You have no talent. All your accomplishments were pure luck. You will never be enough. Someone probably thought of it already. You're nothing compared to others. Who do you think you are? Your work will never be good enough. What are you even doing? What's the point? You're a failure. If you're not perfect, you'll never be enough. Someone could do it better than you. You're nothing special. Anyone could do this. You're fooling everyone. They will know you're not capable. Should I ask for help? No, people will think I'm stupid. I can do it myself. I could have done more. You're too basic. Did you really think you could do this? Your opinion doesn't matter. Do you really think people will like your work? You can't take a break. Stop making up excuses. Your work is not worth sharing. Don't be overconfident in yourself. You will never be successful. As an artist, no matter how hard we work or make amazing content, I always end up comparing myself with others. I have always pushed myself hard to learn new skills and techniques to improve my work, yet I feel like I will never be qualified for anything. My imposter syndrome kicks in during the most random times of the day. One moment I am extremely proud of what I created, the next moment my mind is devoured in thoughts of feeling like a fraud and constant self-doubt. I wrote the script for this video, also directed it, and also edited the video, and I put everything together along with my voiceovers. Being covered in barbed wires and the net expresses the intensity of being trapped inside my head, and used a black liquid to represent the pessimistic words we always say to ourselves to shatter our own self-confidence. After I pulled myself out of the void I created, I decided to burn the painting I was working on to show how all these thoughts end up killing my passion, my dreams, and ideas. So this is like a small summary of what this video meant. I would like to also mention what the significance of the bonsai tree was. I uploaded the drawing of the bonsai tree as a separate piece in the portfolio, and this is the description I wrote for it. I decided to use the reference of a bonsai tree in my portfolio piece, Voices in My Head, as it seems to suit the theme of this video perfectly. Bonsai trees are made by cutting down an actual tree and planting its stem or trunk in a small container to restrict its growth. It has restricted roots and storage capacity. So I use this idea to represent how I restrict my growth by stuffing all the pessimistic thoughts in my head. Bonsai trees give the appearance of a naturally grown tree, but in reality it imitates the image of that tree. It tries to represent something much more than itself, which seemed to be the perfect example of how I see myself in my mind. I often feel like I'm not doing anything on my own and I'm just trying to imitate other people, and tend to feel like an imposter trying to deceive people. No matter how hard I try to improve my skills and learn new things, I never feel like I'm qualified for anything. I hope I was able to express what I actually wanted to say using this reference. Then I also took some photography shots that I uploaded as a separate piece too. This is how it looks like. That is it for my portfolio pieces. It was quite difficult for me to create this portfolio since the only resources I had was videos on YouTube on how everyone made their portfolio and all that. I had to reach out to few students from the universities I applied to know more about the portfolio requirements and all that. I am extremely glad and thankful to everyone who helped me. It was quite tough to do everything on my own since I had no teachers or anyone to help me do this. let me give you some portfolio tips. So please do utilize the description box for your portfolio. Give a summary of your work and everything, what you made it with or what your work signifies or anything. Please definitely make use of it because that is going to help the person reviewing your portfolio to understand more about your work. The order of your portfolio kind of matters, so make sure you put probably your best work at the beginning and at the end. The works that you're not too proud of in the middle, like make sure you put something like that so the beginning of your portfolio is pretty eye-catching to the person who's going to review it. And make sure you present your portfolio in a very nice way. Also, one of the biggest tip is if you're going to take photos of any sculptural piece or any type of piece you're going to upload in your portfolio, make sure the background is completely white or completely empty. There isn't any distraction in the background that might distract the person reviewing your portfolio from the actual piece you submitted. So make sure the background is very clean and a white background is very much preferable. You can submit various kinds of work. If they tell you to use different mediums, make sure you put different mediums in your work, like digital art to animation to sculptural pieces to fashion works if you want to or anything. It does not have to be completely based on your major. Most of the universities mention it that your portfolio does not have to have all the pieces that is for the major you're applying to. So please make sure you mix and match with a lot of different mediums. So that's gonna help them understand how your critical thinking abilities are and how you can create different works in different kind of mediums. It also shows how you are willing to learn new skills and new techniques with different mediums. So make sure you show diversity in your portfolio. So most of these universities tell you to submit from 10 to 20 pieces at least. They will have it mentioned in their portal. I submitted 13 pieces. You can submit more or less. I have also attended like webinars, online webinars on portfolio guidance and all that from respective universities. They do post these things on their university portal. You just have to navigate and research through their website and press the random buttons and everything you can find. You have to go through their website thoroughly to find these things. So yeah. Also make sure the first thing you check out on their website is when the application is due. You do not want to miss the deadlines. Also, while making this portfolio, it pushed my thinking skills and my creative skills a lot because I have never really tried making things out of the box before. Like, you know, you guys see me making cosplays, and cosplays are basically making the costumes from existing characters and all that, and I've learned a lot of critical thinking skills while making the costumes, but not in a creative term, like making my own designs and my own creative ideas. This portfolio pushed me a lot to do that. I was really shocked at what I could achieve with the least amount of information given to me or help I could find. I am really looking forward to how much I can grow when I attend SCAD. I really want to see how far I can take my skills and my creative ideas. Since you could rarely find videos like this with a lot of information and details on like fashion schools and all that, there's a lot of videos out there, but I could not find many details that I wanted to know, so I had to search on Reddit and all that. It was quite difficult, a lot of time-consuming research, and I want to make videos that are very detailed and that can help a lot of people. So now I'm going to be talking about some topics that I personally struggled with while I was applying. So I hope these help you a lot. So firstly, let's talk about grades. Do grades really matter when you're applying to an art and design university? And that is definitely, they do matter. Just because you're applying to an art and design university doesn't mean you don't need to have good grades. Having good grades will help you distinguish yourself from other students. Not only that, plus also will help you get higher amounts of scholarships. And we all know that studying in art and design schools in creative universities are very expensive. So you might want to get as much scholarship as you want, so definitely keep your grades up. Since I'm an international student, I applied with my O-level and A-level grades. I had really good grades, so I had no issues with that, and I was able to get a very generous amount of scholarship for my grades and my portfolio. Most of these universities are SAT optional, so I did not sit for the SAT. Firstly, because COVID happened, so they were more lenient with their SAT requirements. As an international student, you might need to submit an English proficiency test like IELTS. I got my EPT requirement waived since I've been studying in an English medium school where the primary language of instruction was English. Even for my visa requirement, I did not need that. Since my visa interview appointment was waived too, I had to submit my passport through Dropbox. So yeah, if you do want more details on this part, you can DM me on Instagram or just leave a comment down below. I will try to reply to you. So now let's talk about scholarship. I will be talking about the scholarship amount that I received from SAIC first. So in total, my scholarship was 37,800. That is in total of 4 years. So this scholarship was divided each year. From SCAD, at first, I got 2 different scholarships. One was, I think, 4,000 or something. Another one was 11,000. Those were 2 of the scholarships that I received first. Then I contacted my advisor to see if I could get more scholarship. I was rewarded with annual scholarships, which is around 20k. If you need more scholarships, there are a lot of external scholarships out there. I will not be going into details on what are external scholarships and all that. Remember, Google is your best friend to search about external scholarships. As an international student, getting into external scholarships are quite difficult since there aren't much. Please do your research properly before you apply. Check the tuition, check readmission requirements you need to do. Our mission for today has been completed. I hope I was able to cover everything in this video, and I'm sorry if I missed anything out. Feel free to always leave a comment down below or send me a message on Instagram or Facebook. The links are in the description box below about any topic you would like to know more information about.